Oops.
Here we go.
Let's do it. Didn't get a good solid. I didn't get a good solid look at the decks. I was more concerned about shit going
Looked
down.
like it was a pure range deck for Lords. 228 was bringing Warhammers. I think it's the same deck that they were bringing against EMP.
All right, let's take a look.
Actually, Lords has the Warhammers as well. Both teams bringing Warhammers, Hunchbacks, Kodiaks, and Jenners, I think.
Gauss PPC on Lords, definitely. So it looks like they are bringing in an identical deck. Hunchbacks with large pulse, ERPPC, small pulse on the lights. Panic button, DACA. We might have an alpha to alpha movement here again for 228. Let's see if they are able to get anything. Looks like Lords is stepping up, so let's see if they can get some shots downfield. They need to get all four of these mechs shooting. Putting some of that pain out early. Airlock getting some hits in on him. They've already got somebody up at stage taking some shots in from the side, but Lords is now retreating back. Let's see whether or not 228 continues this aggression before they have a chance to set up. Ooh, some shots in on energy there. They're getting some free damage now. Looks like the 228 mechs are dodging off to the left side, or at least holding their ground. They are getting some hits.
228 really likes this position. They've been playing that every match almost tonight.
They do, but Hubert's doing some really good work here with those dual peeps. Dropping some shots in there. So Dario in that Jenner 2CA and Kriven in the Jenner 2CA operating near Theta on the left, but the cap went in favor of 228. So one cap for 228, but they seem pretty exposed out here right now. Operating out in the main field. I think they're just trying to isolate somebody and get some shots in on them. Percentages, I'd say, in favor of, I guess it's somewhat
maybe
Lords.
in favor of Lords,
Just
but
a little
it's pretty
bit
close.
Panic button getting some hits. Oh, those just went right past his cockpit. He got away relatively unscathed there. Krisman down to 86. Anything important? Mostly in the arms. So they're still working it. They just got to be careful on some of these peaks. If they make a really bad peak, they could pay for it. Set up here for Lords. They've got 2 up, almost 3 up on Rafters right now. Energy down to 84. Trades are relatively even now. Looks like they're moving their way up over Rafters. They're going to try and get in on the right side, which will definitely push 228 into a corner if they take this position. Kappa is going to fall to Lords. It's a very deep cap for Lords. That means they have a light tied up in the process, though.
And they've got some mechs pretty darn close here to their position. The light and a Hunchback
awesome
and a Jenner
airstrike.
C right up by stage right now.
So the lights are kind of peeking around the right side. A majority of Lords have moved over to the left side. So that's forcing 228 a little bit closer to Theta. One of those lights is coming in from Kappa in the backfield. We'll see whether he tries to go in strong or if he just kind of gets some harassment in. One last bite might be able to jump on him, though. That light's right here. He's going up to Hoop right now. That's Dario. He has lasers. Greem down to 73. He was doing pretty well, but that left shoulder is bright red on the armor. Looks like they got Panic Button now on the left side. He's kind of trading in 1 versus 4, but smartly keeping back. Edmeister taking his place in the Black Widow, and it looks like we've got some pushing up going on here from 228. They're trying to catch Lords out, but Krisman getting pounded using his arms.
He
to
was out
take.
in the open and got absolutely just crushed trying to get to cover there.
The percentages now that things are getting a little bit crazy here, it's starting to swing more in favor of Lords. They do have herd mechs, but they're punishing any of these 228 mechs that get cut out, like R13 here. He does get behind cover, but Krisman really got nailed on that one. But any aggressive movement by Lords is going to catch somebody out. Oh, energy goes down to Ed. He stepped back, and I think he tossed one right over his head, enough to scrape him. So we've got a little bit of a DACA firefight on the left side. They caught Bowser out. They do have the light in the backfield here. Queenblade chasing him out, but Lords is continuing their push around the outside. Defunct getting hit down to 57. He's got
And
both
Lords is
shoulders
taking a lot of
open.
damage with this
Ed
move.
gets caught in the back shoulder and he goes down. 2 quick kills for Lords against 228. Panic Button, the last one on this corner, up against a almost fresh Wildfire. His left shoulder is about to go down. But Qbert gets taken down by Greem. They still have some life on this side. Those lights are duking it out here, though. Both of them down below, getting chased by One Last Bite and Queenblade. They're doing all right. They just legged, I think, Dario. He goes down. Kriven is very hurt as well to the CT. One Last Bite might get capped here, but Queenblade's just poached up behind him. Getting some slick shots in on Kriven might take him out. He does go down. Both lights down for Lords. So
And
back
those
to the
lights
main fight.
need to get into the fight. 228's lights need to get in here.
Greem goes down. It is 4 against the 3 Lords mechs. Wildfire, the freshest out of all of them. He's going to be able to do some work. Airlock down to half a mech. Wildfire has a good chance to maybe even clean up here. How is he doing on ammunition right now? Because that's the only thing that could possibly stop him. Airlock down to just a single Gauss rifle.
He has 6 shots left.
Oh, no.
Just 6 shots.
1 shot CT to Psychoholic. Wildfire's almost sticked. This could get very bad very quick.
Work here.
Queenblade's getting caught out in the open. He takes a Gauss shot. Wildfire now getting hit. Panic Button might not know that he's going to be sticked, and he's 1 shot CT. He only has the 1 UAC 5 remaining. He's not firing at him now, so Panic Button is still putting his shots into that stick mech. He doesn't realize it. He's switched on to Airlock, but too little too late. Airlock nails him with that 1 remaining Gauss rifle. How much rounds does Airlock have now?
Let's take a look.
Caps are in favor
Airlock
of
has
228.
15 rounds. He has plenty of rounds. He has open rear CT and rear torso.
So he can potentially do some work with that 1 remaining Gauss rifle, but there are 2 lights on the field. One Last Bite, 34%. Center torso 1 shot, but still has all of his weapons. Might be good for a gank. There's a PPC left on the field with Psychoholic, but he is 1 shot CT. If they get a good strike or a gank on him, he's done.
And here comes Queenblade coming up behind at Theta. Let's see if he can catch these guys napping.
If Queenblade goes down, though, that's going to be pretty nasty. Oh, he's going for Airlock instead of Psychoholic. Did he got the back left core
Double
of
kill.
Airlock.
He got the
double
Gauss rifle
kill.
explosion.
He got the crit in the back left shoulder.
Gosh.
Crit the Gauss as Airlock, and they both fall at the exact same time.
Wildfire is out of ammo.
This is going to go in favor of 228.
228's going to win this.
Wow, nice move by Queenblade coming in on the backfield to finish that off. It looked pretty damn good for them because of the ammo situation, but with the 1 PPC on the field, Queenblade has a lot of fight left in him, and as soon as they realized that that Wildfire was out of ammunition, they had to have a fire lit under him because it was looking pretty bad. But as soon as Panic Button calls out he's out of ammo, that completely changed the outcome of this one, and we're gonna have a drop 1 win, the 5th seed over the 3rd seed, and it's gonna go into drop 2. Lords falls. Well played, 228.
That is incredible. Queenblade with the clutch there. I really thought Lords had that. But getting those light kills, this is now the second time we've seen the lights winning for 228 in a light versus light battle. And this time those lights are able to carry them to victory.
The aggression by Queenblade definitely sealed the deal. It was looking pretty dire for Lords just because of the situation they were in.
Yep.
One of the only guys with a decent weapon left was, Cord's CT 1 shot. The other one, the Kodiak, a very slow mech, but has a Gauss rifle. Still had enough ammo to maybe get the job done, but that back core... I'm like, why isn't he shooting Psychoholic in the shoulder, or in the center torso, and just taking him out? Queenblade made a smart decision, knowing that the Kodiak had his back to him, hit the correct shoulder, got the crit that he seeked, and then immediately switched to the Hunchback. That was an amazing double kill by Queenblade. That was a good heads-up play. He couldn't have done it better myself. Absolutely.
And Queenblade is going to pass Wildfire in the night here. I don't know if he even saw him.
I mean, he could go. It honestly doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
And this one is going to go in favor of 228, drop 1. So we will figure out which side Lords opts to take for drop 2. Maybe they'll think, maybe they'll switch back to what they are kind of known for, that high aggression DACA, instead of the PPC Gauss after the outcome of this one. We'll have to see what they choose to do. But
I mean, they did have some DACA on that team, and to be honest, it, like we said with the ammo situation, it kind of cost them. I mean, Wildfire, if he had still had ammo in that Black Widow, is fresh. I mean, he is in great shape, but you know, obviously running out of ammo is not gonna help him. I would love to see how much damage he did though, running out of ammo in that situation.
Can't wait to see the scoreboards, but this one's gonna be over. Woo! What an engagement, man. The freaking regional finals have been delivering time and time again. I've been seeing some of the best MechWarrior Online action in forever.
Yeah,
this has been
great.
Fantastic across the board. Taking a look at the damage, 479, 3 kills coming out of Wildfire, 494 coming out of Qbert. He was definitely doing a lot of work. Really good damage from 5 of those guys, all over 400, but Energy getting caught down, only pulling 116 and 71 coming out of Criven. That hurts. On the 228 side, Queenblade only pulling 242, but those last couple kills were key to sealing the victory. Panic Button in that nasty spot on the left, peaking against the odds and still managing 474 before going down. Green coming in to back him up with 505 on that left side. I didn't think that left side was going to work, and then it did. I can't believe
Green
they
was
were able
doing
to hold that
work
down.
in that Hunchback 2C.
Absolutely. That was with LPLs too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Hoi, 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 hoi. All right. That was drop 1. That means Lords has to pick a side. Which side are they picking?
They're picking Team 2. We're going to see a change up here.
All right. Well, I think it's time to give away a mech pack. What do you think?
I think that would be great.
All right, let's do it. Loading.
Should probably leave me on the list.
You know what? Just for that, I'm going to scroll down and remove you. I even have to go to page 2 to remove you from the list. You are now removed from the list. All right.
That is a bummer.
Let's do a giveaway. This is for a standard mech pack, $20 pack. This giveaway tool provided for free by Latch and Friends, my bad. The guy is a really awesome programmer, animator, and actually you guys can go download this giveaway tool for your own streams. The guy's awesome. I've talked to him personally, and he's awesome. Dark and Light 720 coming away with the mech pack. Send me a whisper. All right, send me a whisper with the mech pack that you choose, $20 standard, and send me your in-game name. All right, I think it's time for a replay. There's a lot to talk about on this one, I think.
What a match.
So,
Wow.
initial alpha to alpha. Had a pretty good spread, 4 abreast from 228. Ed Meister taking some hits and slickly pulls in behind his Kodiak buddy, and they get some trades out on the initial. Now, Ed was the only one that took hits down to 88%, but they tossed Energy, Airlock, Bowser down into the 90s there, and kept that pressure. So initial trade's doing pretty well, but then the 228 starts getting pecked on from long range in the backfield here by Qbert, and Qbert did do quite a bit of work in that match. He had really good damage numbers and just kept that pressure in from that side for sure. So we get into a decently long trade phase here. The lights right over Theta, but the cap initially in favor of 228. So 228's got that power position down here. It's a little loose though. But for the most part, a lot of just poking up as Lords shifts their way down rafters.
Yep.
Just trying to see some of these key shots here. Energy getting walloped there That was a pretty big one, down to 77%. So they've moved themselves back to just outside of stage. A good airstrike in on Greem, but he's still doing work. Jenner's peeking around the right side. So then Lords shifts even further to start trading with Panic Button, who's still hiding behind that rock right there, all by himself. So they start shifting around that left side, and they meet him on that outside corner. Let's skip over there. So Ed goes to join Panic, and they start trading around that outside. And actually, 228 gets a little bit aggressive here, pushing up a bit on that left side. Chrisman got beat to hell on that push. Panic took a couple hits. Man, the amount of times I saw Panic get hit by stuff, I cannot believe he stayed alive as long as he did. I mean, it wasn't like a constant flow of damage, but he definitely tanked it very well.
Yeah, great damage spread.
But this wasn't looking too good for 228 right here.
I can't believe he managed to tank that long on that corner.
Ed popping over here, jerked his... It looked like he was firing back, but then as soon as energy showed up, Ed, like, jerked his crosshair down to get a quick kill on energy, and then goes right back up to the top. It looks like that was like, oh, suddenly energy's there. I'll just quick aim down a little bit and hit him in the face. It looked like that's how it went down. But Ed, stepping a little bit too far out there, turns around, gets shot in the back shoulder, gets taken out. But Panic is still there doing whatever he can. He's got strikes on him. Cubert's right there. He is pincered, but then Cubert gets opened up hard by suddenly Greem coming in with 2 shots to Cubert. That is huge. Cubert was fresh. He was there doing work, and then Greem coming in like a bat out of hell, ripping Cubert to shreds. That was a big play for sure. The 2 lights doing a fantastic job on those Jenners down in the pit. Queenblade just sitting there, just going for the precision shots, not really worried about anybody coming over the top. And taking those lights out was very big. And we got Wildfire. Absolutely. So this is still looking pretty good for Lords. I mean, there's 3 very hurt mechs for 228 on the field, and Wildfire is basically fresh. So that's when the question comes up. He's a Black Widow. How much ammo does he have? You check into it. What was it, 8 shots?
6 shots.
6 shots? Ooh. That's disheartening.
Not even
freshest mech on the field. Freshest mech on the field without enough ammo. That's a bummer right there. He should have maybe been tanking a little bit for his team, getting a little bit more aggressive. Who knows? But they were trying to get shots in on Queenblade with the remainder of his ammo, and I think he tossed his last shot maybe right here. No, he's already out, I think. So Panic Button initially panics and goes after Wildfire. I don't blame him. And then realizing that he's out of ammo, switches to Airlock, gets a little bit of scratch in, but he's down to the 1 Gauss. And then real quick, because the teams are ready and we want to actually go see live matches, I want to go in and see that double kill, because that was slick as hell.
He got the crit on the Gauss rifle. It was a Gauss
so here he goes. He a little bit. Okay. So here he comes in on the backfield here. Airlock's got his back to him. Psychoholic, I don't think, sees him. Queenblade coming in like a bat out of hell. Pretty damn healthy. He doesn't go for Psychoholic first. Back left shoulder. Pop. Just like that. Excellent work by Queenblade. So,
and you can see the explosion on it.
He had time to turn around, look at Queenblade, and then die. And that was cinematic in my opinion. So let's go in and take a look at the decks. 228 in Team 1 with Warhammer 6R Timber, dual Kodiaks, dual Jenner 2CAs, Hunchback 2CAs. On Lords, tanky. Let's do it.
They went back to their tanky deck.
They went back to their brawl deck. In we go. So, 1-0 in favor of 228 on the series. Is 228 going to be able to answer this hard push? Lords have been doing this very well so far. Except, of course, against the EMP. But, can they do it? So, we've got that Gauss PPC, PPC Ultra AC5s in on the Alpha Lance. And on the other side, what do we got? Warhammers. Only 3 mechs, so I think they know at this point Alpha Lance is not going to charge into them. If they do, that would be a shocker. But no, they're going to cut across. So maybe we'll get some early PPC Goss in on that Alpha Lance before they have a chance to pull out. These initial shots are going to be... These initial shots are going to be huge. If they can land these and weaken 228, it's going to be big. They got to land those shots, though. Energy, 80%. He is getting wailed on. Center torso wide open. Very good shots coming in. And Ed takes him down. That is huge. That is, I can't stress enough how big that is, taking a mech down this early. Airlock caught out in the backfield. Everybody else shifting to the right. So Airlock is now silhouetted alone. Left shoulder is about to go down. He loses it. So now he is slowed up. And he is half a mech.
This is bad news right now for Lords. They are in a terrible position right now.
Kubert in the Force P and Psychoholic in the Force P finally getting up to the front. I think they're still running the LPL builds. They are. Chrisman takes out Airlock finally, so 2 very important mechs for Lords are down. They finally got their main force up to the front, but they've lost a lot of firepower. I think 228 needs to stay aggressive and keep putting those shots downfield. Do not let Lords gain their footing, because if you do, and if they are able to get some sort of brawl charge in, it's going to hurt. But that's exactly what 228 is doing. They're continuing to put their shots downfield. Looks like Defunct stepping a little bit too far out, 76%, but he still has his main stuff open. And Psychoholic in that Force P is finally charging down to 64%. They're opting to stay on him, it looks like. And they've actually moved off of him. He's got 1 LPL left with the 2 medium lasers. Dario on the outside up against One Last Bite and Queen Blade. The other Jenner went way too far out. Peef Smash coming out. He's not even in the fight at this moment. And the main charge is starting to fall apart for Lords. 5 mechs remaining. By the time Peef gets into the fight, Greem is
Dario's
right on
down
him.
by the time Peef's even there.
Yep, so Peef is finally in the fight. He's working on Greem right now, but I think the timing was a little bit off. He goes down. 2 mechs remaining for Lords, and holy cow, I don't think I could have predicted this one bit.
I could not have predicted this at all.
Lords is about to fall 2-0 on the series in the elimination rounds and get knocked out of the tournament.
That is an upset. The number 5 seed versus the number 3, and that wasn't even close on this last match. The movement, the initial movement from Alpha Lance across rather than up was brutal. Just brutal. Losing essentially a Warhammer and a Kodiak on that initial movement.
Bowser is now surrounded. He turned around. Those lights are getting engaged, getting in behind him. He does take out Panic Button, but those lights are too much for his back torso, and he goes down 8-3 in favor of 228. These guys have got to be feeling really good about the outcome of this one. Keeping themselves alive in this tournament. They will be moving forward in the elimination bracket, and they will be playing against the loser of EMP versus SJR.
Wow. I am shocked.
Well played, 228.
228 came to play tonight. There's no doubt in my mind at all. A very impressive opening match versus Storm Jaguar. Obviously, we talked about it running up against EMP. Not an easy draw, especially not for the number 5 seed. But then after that, dispatching of the number 3 seed Lords in a 2-0 decision. That is impressive.
Absolutely. Whew. Well,
and that means they'll be moving on to the next round, which will be the loser, right, of EMP and SJR.
Yep. So let's take a look at the damages real quick. 228's gonna have some time to think about. They got vision of EMP. They were able to play them. They did lose against them. They do have to still worry about SJR because SJR could lose against EMP here in the winners bracket. But they got a good look at least EMP and can take a couple days to think about it and prepare and go into the finals bracket here. But taking a look at the damage across the board, fantastic from 228. Really held some of these guys to really low numbers. Peef Smash, Airlock in that Kodiak 3, getting pounded down. Energy, that was a big kill. Energy and
Absolutely.
Airlock on that charge, just coming out aggressively around that side was big. And then not only that, but landing the shots and getting the kills was gigantic. Taking 2 mechs out before they even had a chance to come up. Couldn't have been done any better by 228, in my opinion. Fantastic work. Whew. And that means we're going to be going